Hi and welcome to another live gaming streaming type video. And in today's video I want to talk about multiplayer games and, well, quite a bit about them. There's lots of different aspects to multiplayer games that I want to talk about. First of all, if you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I'm not a fan of multiplayer games. Notification. And I don't mind a bit of local play, so I don't know, maybe a bit of Mario Kart with someone else in my house, or I don't know, what other games do we play that are a bit sort of local.
I don't know, you played Minecraft with Finn quite a bit.
Yeah, I've played Minecraft 2-player split screen. That's not too bad.
So you prefer like local co-op rather than multiplayer, online
If I had a
multiplayer?
choice, yeah. I don't particularly like multiplayer at all, so I'm not even a big fan of playing Mario Kart with someone else, or I'm quite a personal gamer. It's me and me only. Some of that is because I'm quite rubbish at games, so I just get beaten. FIFA is the other game that I will play with either one other or one of my children, wherever they are.
Terrible at.
Which I am terrible at, and I've always been terrible at. But it's if we step outside of sort of local split screen, or I did play Mario Kart with my oldest son across two switches, so it was still local, but he was on one switch, I was on the other. Quite enjoyed that because the whole aspect of split screen is you can see what the other person is doing. Doesn't always work very well. It also cramps the screen. Back in the GameCube days, I had quite a bit of fun playing Mario Kart Double Dash with four people on the screen. Yeah, that was alright. But in general, multiplayer is not for me. And one of the things I don't like about multiplayer games, especially now, because say the last 10 years, multiplayer gaming has become much bigger, and I think it's a lot of ways taken over single player campaign style games. Everything is online, everything is multiplayer. Either fully multiplayer, or there'll be an online element to the game. So one of the big things that we have in our house is that my like I say, I'm a single player person. That's my kind of generation. I think the next generation up, where my children are, they play a lot of online games. And one thing that is quite often I can hear said in this house is, "I've got no one to play with." So they've got the games, they've got a bunch of friends online. Maybe none of them are there, and it stops them playing the game. So they want to play Fortnite, Siege, whatever latest multiplayer game there is, maybe Minecraft, but there's no one online for them to play with. And when I say no one online, there's always someone online. But my youngest has a select few people who he can play with for safety reasons. Go parenting. And if those friends aren't online, then that interrupts his gaming. It means he can't play. And as much as I can't see what the issue is with playing a game by yourself or against the CPU, then it is a generation thing. And that's a big problem I have with multiplayer gaming. You are reliant on other people. And I was talking to you about this. My other son is sitting opposite, the other day, about multiplayer gaming, and you've run into instances where there's games you like to play,
And certain people just don't want to play them.
or they have played them and now they no longer want to play them
Well,
with
they
you,
just don't like them.
or because they don't like the game, and that leaves you without the ability to play that game.
Well, that's happened a multitude of times.
So what games have you run into?
Games like Lethal Company. I've played it a little bit, but not as much as I'd like to have played it. Purely because, well, one, Declan won't play it, and my other friend that I talk to commonly is also just, they both hate the game.
So that means you can't play the
That
game.
means I can't play the game because it's fully online multiplayer.
So you're in a similar boat to my other son, who has limited friends, and
Yeah.
he can't play Minecraft or Fortnite or Siege if there isn't anyone there for him to play with.
Um, what games did you just say? Minecraft?
Yeah,
Siege?
yeah.
What was the other one?
Fortnite.
You can play all those games on your own.
What, solely on your
Yeah.
own? Or do you have to have
You don't have to have anyone.
other randoms from around the
Oh,
world?
you can have other randoms on Siege and Minecraft, on Siege and Fortnite, but you can play them on your own without talking to anyone.
Without talking to anyone?
Yes,
Or without having anyone else in that world with you?
without talking to anyone.
But you still have to have people.
Yes, but
There.
it random match makes you for them sort of things. That's fine. Things like Minecraft, you can play solely on your own.
Okay. Well, perhaps he doesn't like playing solely on his own.
I don't particularly like playing solely on my own.
And I get
It
it.
can get boring.
I have played some games, multiplayer. Like, I don't know, I played a bit of Siege, didn't like it, but I could see the point where the other people were there. I've played Minecraft with, not Minecraft, Fortnite with you or with the others in the house, and it adds an element of fun. I get that. You don't want to be playing on your own or with bots or whatever. But that is an issue with multiplayer games, and the main reason I don't like playing multiplayer games is because I am rubbish. I've played Siege and I was wiped out within minutes. Same with Apex Legends, same with Fortnite.
It does take time, quite a bit of it, to get quite good at certain games.
And I ain't got time for that.
Especially things like Siege and stuff, where you do end up getting matchmates with harder and harder people as you go through. That was one of the things that I came across.
And the other problem you have with these sort of games is you buy these games. Alright, some of them are free, Fortnite, etc. But you can go out and you can spend £40, £50 on this game. That is online. So I actually went out and bought Nerf Legends for the Switch. It's an alright game. I just fancied it, it was cheap. Didn't realise when I bought it, it required online. So you're not only are you buying the game in the first place, but you have to have an online subscription to play it. There are some Xbox and PlayStation games that you cannot play online without the online.
But
there are some that you can, like Fortnite.
with then pointing out just Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that. PC games, you don't have to do that.
No.
So that is one of the benefits to a PC.
Yeah, the you don't have to pay for the online service.
You don't have the constant payment subscription.
But where I was going with that is you go out and you buy this game, you spend, I don't know, Siege when it came out was 50, 60 quid.
That was a long time.
A long time ago, yeah. But at some point, as we looked up a little while ago, got some notes there somewhere, they do shut the servers off for games. And I looked up quickly before I did this video, and there's over 200 games that have been out, maybe not done very well, and the game developers decide to shut the servers off. These are online games. There's no single side to it, so that game is now absolutely useless. And you get that with paid for games as well.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, Siege will come offline, render the game useless.
Yeah.
The same with Fortnite. At some point, all that money you've pummeled into buying the game or buying in-game purchases will just be wasted and useless. So I'm an older gamer. I've got consoles from 40 years ago, 20 years ago. You buy a game, you play it, and I can still play that now. Yes, they're not online, not all of them. Most of them are single games. But that's never going to go away unless the hardware breaks. Whereas a modern game in these days, it's all about multiplayer, it's all about pushing money into it, making you buy extra things. I did a video about in-game purchases about a year ago, I think, and it's disgusting the amount of money that you can pummel into a game just so you can have the latest skin or the latest weapon or whatever. And at some point, all that money you've pummeled in will be gone because these multiplayer games are reliant on servers. And you get there are some games that are closed down because they're closing down the console servers. So Xbox 360, PSP, those kind of things. That the online side of that has been shut off. This year, I think March, April time this year, they will be switching off the 3DS and the Wii U servers. So any games that you play online there, you won't be able to play. I don't think there's any solely online games for those platforms. So the single player side of that will still be up and running. But I don't know, if you were playing Mario Kart on your Wii U, Mario Kart 8, and you like to play online, as of April time, that's going to be squashed. I'm a big fan of the PlayStation Vita, as you are. There are still some Vita games that are multiplayer, and the servers are still up. Only a very few. Call of Duty, Black Ops Declassified, I can still play online. It's a great game. That is a single player and a multiplayer game, so even if they switch the servers off, which I'm assuming they will do at some point, as the Vita was not massively successful, it would render that stuff a bit useless. And that's where this video is going. Multiplayer has two elements to it. You're reliant on servers to stay up for you to play them, and you're reliant on someone to play with. And it's just something I've never gotten into. I am more of a single player person. I've got a Dreamcast which I play, and I love playing just the single player. I've got a Switch which has no online subscription because the games I play are single player. I can't see the point in relying on someone else to play with, and that's the bit that bugs me. And like I said, quite often it's said in here, I have no one to play with, or no one will play with me, because there's no one there for him to play, and that means he can't play the games he wants to play.
I've come into the same issue.
As you said, yeah. And it spoils it, because it's a game you like.
Yeah, there's loads of games that I like that no one else will play.
Purely because they are online only.
They're not online. Some of them aren't online only, but they're more fun with friends.
So you could play
with. Some of them, yeah. But things like Lethal Company, Phasmophobia, they're not going to get people to play with you. There's no point in playing them.
Can you physically play them?
You can, but it's not particularly, if I'm being honest. Phasmophobia, you need a team of people, or at least one other person.
So there are lots of games that you need someone else, whether that's someone you know, or whether that's someone just randomly from Australia around the world, whatever.
You could do that, but it's not going to be what you need, because you need open communication and a chance of actually getting that system.
So is that you sort of co-op together?
Yeah.
And you can talk to them, and you can guide each other, and you follow each other and do that. Okay. So that is a little different. But there are lots of multiplayer games that you can just play with randoms. That keeps the game going. Like I say, I've played Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified on the Vita. I have no idea who I was playing with. And you just join. I'm sure it's the same with Siege. You just join a lobby sort of thing.
You just start matchmaking, and it brings you into a game with 9 other people.
Random people.
Roughly around your skill level.
Which is good, but you still run into that. At some point they will shut those servers off, and that game will be useless. And that's the thing I don't like about modern gaming. You know I'm not a big fan of modern gaming. I've got a Switch Lite, and I just looked through the list of sort of Switch Lite games, or Switch games that I've got, and most of them are ports from PS3, original Xbox, single player, just games that I can play by myself. I don't have to rely on anyone else. I can't actually remember the last time I played an online game or a multiplayer game. A bit of 2-player Minecraft recently, just to check out. A bit of Black Ops on the Vita, and maybe the odd bit of Fortnite once in a while, just for shits and giggles, that kind of thing. Nothing heavy. 99% of my gaming is single player. I mean, we were playing a game yesterday. Thomas was alone. We both got it. It's a great game. We weren't playing together, but we were sitting in the same room. We were discussing it. I get that kind of element to it. So if you were to do a game and be able to play and talk at the same time, all in one, then yeah, and you can while away many hours just wandering around stupid lands, talking to each other and following each other, and in the case of Minecraft, building things together and destroying things together. Which I am not a huge fan of Minecraft, not because it's multiplayer, just because of the style of game that it is. It's a game I've tried to get into many times over the years. I've played it on the PS3, the 3DS, the Vita. That's about it, I think. And I enjoyed it slightly more when I was multiplayer, when I was split screen with my youngest. And he did too. I think it just added a bit of fun. Some of that was because I'm so rubbish at it, it was hilarious. But I was following him around. It gave me more of a purpose. I'm not really sure where this video is going. I don't like the reliance on other people for gaming, which for some games you do get. And I don't like the fact that you are reliant on the game servers staying up for you to be able to play that game. And that must annoy you as well. Because there are games that get shut off. I mean, like I said a minute ago, there are consoles that get shut down. So you might get that game on multiple consoles, but they'll pull the 360 servers off. And then you can't, if you've got a 360, which I get, they have to call it a day some point, which is why I'm quite surprised that the Vita servers are still up. So yeah, multiplayer gaming has too many elements that are outside of the player's control that determine whether they can play, who they can play with, how long they can play, and whether they can continue playing forever. You know, there are older games. I mean, you go back to the Dreamcast era, sort of 6th Gen Con, when multiplayer gaming was coming in. You had things like the PS2 had a net add-on, the GameCube and the Dreamcast, and the original Xbox had the ability to play multiplayer. All of that has gone. You've got the hardware sitting there, you've got the games sitting there, but the servers are dead and been terminated. It was a few years ago, somebody resurrected the original Xbox Live service in some kind of little butchered way, where you could play things like Halo, I think it was, the original Halo, again on multiplayer, but that was somebody patching it in so that it could be done. I am rambling a little bit here, but multiplayer gaming, it has its pros, but I think there are more cons than there are pros. Lack of people to play with and lack of servers staying up. You are reliant on too many other things for online multiplayer. Split screen or shared console, local area, that's an alright way of doing it. But the other way, it's just not for me. And even you, as a modern gamer who likes multiplayer gaming,
I've come across some issues.
And they're annoyances.
Yeah.
Yeah. A game that you
would love to play more of.
Did you buy the game?
Yeah.
You actually physically paid for the game? So you are at the mercy of other people.
Yeah.
Even though you've paid to play this, to buy this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's just not right. That shouldn't be like that.
It wasn't expensive, but
Doesn't matter.
that does defeat the point.
Yeah.
Buying the game in the first place. And it's annoying because I want to play that game,
Which you've purchased.
which I've purchased, and I can't because people won't play it.
And that is my point in a nutshell. You are reliant on other people, and you are reliant on the server staying up. And otherwise, you are then sitting there with, well, in the case of physical games, a disc in a case that's absolutely useless.
Or a game sitting on your device, if it's digital, that you just can't play.
And then it's pointless having it on there. And you may have purchased that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.